Hi there, and welcome to This Day in History for November the 2nd. November 2nd is the 306th day of the year in the Gregorian calendar, 307th in leap years, with 59 days remaining to the end of the year. Today's word is colloquialism. Colloquialism is a noun, and it's one of those words that gives itself to describe itself. So I'll give you those definitions first, and then we'll take a little bit deeper dive. Colloquial is defined as an adjective that means used in or characteristic of familiar and informal conversation, or using a conversational style. Some examples of colloquial phrases might be kind of, which is meant to mean somewhat or rather. That said, the noun colloquialism may mean a colloquial expression, like the phrase chicken out, which means to lose one's nerve, or a local or regional dialect expression like bodacious, which originated in the southern United States and means excellent, admirable, or attractive, as in, Lucille's serves up a bodacious chicken fried steak. Lucille's, by the way, is a real place right here in Fort Worth, up there on Camp Bowie Boulevard, and I already know there are parts of the country right here in the United States that have no idea what a chicken fried steak is. So I'll tell you, it's a breaded and fried beef cutlet fried up in the same way that you would fry up a chicken. Oh my goodness, I do love me some chicken fried steak. And if I'm in a sit-down restaurant that has a chicken fried steak, I'll have mine with mashed potatoes and white gravy and glazed carrots if they have it. I digress. Where were we? Oh yes, bodacious, colloquialism. The word colloquialism comes to us evolved from a couple of Latin roots, com, that means together or with, and loquim, which means speaking, as in a speaking together, as in conversation, together with the suffix ism, that means in the manner of or the state of being, whatever the front part of the word was. So, in the manner or state of speaking together with. First known use of the word colloquialism is in the early 1800s, like around 1810. Colloquialism. Today's word colloquialism was suggested by Odyssey viewer Easy9. Thanks, Easy9. And if you have a word you'd like us to examine in this Word of the Day segment, drop it in the comments. We'll take a look at it. And with that, this is the birthday of American frontiersman Daniel Boone, born November 2nd, 1734. He was one of the first folk heroes of the United States. In those days, Kentucky was beyond the borders of the 13 colonies, and he was significant for making the exploration and settlement of Kentucky possible. Of course, I think most of my audience enjoys the ready use of paved roads to get just about anywhere one might wish to go, but back then it really was just raw wilderness, not even a footpath in many cases. So it's significant that Daniel Boone blazed the wilderness road through the Cumberland Gap and into Kentucky and founded one of the first English-speaking settlements west of the Appalachian Mountains. By the end of the 1700s, more than 200,000 people had made their way into Kentucky by following the route he had marked. Shout out to my Kentuckians, by the way, Braxton and Cindy. Hi, y'all. There's plenty more about Daniel Boone, but that'll do for now. He lived to the age of 85. Now, Marie Antoinette has had several mentions lately, so I thought I would let you know that this is the birthday of Marie Antoinette, born November 2nd, 1755. She was the queen consort of Louis XVI of France and was the last queen of France before the French Revolution. She lived to the age of 37 when the monarchy was abolished and she and Louis were beheaded. This is the birthday of James K. Polk, born November 2nd, 1795. He was the 11th President of the United States. Interesting bit about James K. Polk, he also served as 13th Speaker of the House and is the only person to have served both as Speaker and U.S. President. Very unusual. His presidency is notable for extending the territory of the United States through the Mexican-American War during his presidency annexing the Republic of Texas, the Oregon Territory, and part of what is now southern United States that had previously been held by Mexico after winning the Mexican-American War. James K. Polk lived to the age of 53. Also the birthday of Warren G. Harding, born November 2nd, 1865. He was the 29th President of the United States and was very popular and well-liked while he was alive and during his presidency. He died while in office, and afterward his Secretary of the Interior, Albert Fall, and Attorney General Harry Daugherty were found to be caught up in the Teapot Dome bribery scandal. Now, I don't know that President Harding had anything to do with that himself, but his reputation was tarnished by association because it occurred within his administration. As I mentioned, he died while in office. He was 57 years old at the time of his passing. North Dakota and South Dakota were admitted as the 39th and 40th United States on November 2nd, 1889. This is the birthday of Catherine Dawn Lang, born November 2nd, 1961. You might more easily recognize her by her stage name, though, K.D. Lang. K.D. Lang. She's an award-winning pop and country singer-songwriter and occasional actress. She has over a dozen albums and over 40 singles, and it looks like she's still alive and still working. K.D. Lang. November 2nd has been a remarkable day in recorded history, particularly within the last 100 years or so. I have certainly talked about other things that happened on November 2nd in other episodes for this day, so I'll grab one at random and include a link for you in case you'd like to see one of those. Today's song is Trail of Broken Hearts by K.D. Lang, released in 1989 as a single from her Absolute Torch and Twang album. It looks like this one made it into the top 100 in the Canadian charts, and I have no recollection whatsoever as to how I came to hear it in the first place way back then, but my goodness, that velvet voice still gives me goosebumps. Trail of Broken Hearts by K.D. Lang. Link in the description. And I think that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Feel free to share this video with a link in your email, messaging, or social media. If you enjoy this series, you can check out the playlist that contains these videos. I'll put a link to that in the description. That playlist lives on YouTube, so for other platforms, I'll include a link to my blog page that's called No Really. You can also find me on Rumble, BitChute, and Odyssey. All those links in that description. Alrighty, that's all I can think of right now. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time. This is the birthday.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
I wasn't talking to you. Okay. Cacophony is a sound. Cacophony is a noun that... I'm going to have to look that up. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay. Alrighty. You got to read it the right way. Let's start over. It's 8 o'clock, so all of the reminders are going to be dinging. I forgot to turn those off. Okay, stop it. It's 8 o'clock. Don't alienate people who can be helpful to you. Flinging happiness all over the place. Alrighty, back to work. I think we got it this time.